G'day legends, and welcome to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's been making headlines and sparking some pretty heated debates, the changing face of Australian cities. We're talking about migration, mates, and how the land of sunshine and snags might not be the promised land it once was for everyone. For decades, Australia has been a beacon of hope for folks looking for a fresh start. But lately something's shifted. We're seeing more and more people, especially those who've recently moved here, packing their bags and heading for greener pastures. So, what's the deal? Is the Aussie dream turning into a bit of a nightmare? Let's crack open this snag sanger, chuck in some tomato sauce, and have a good old-fashioned chinwag about it. Sydney, the harbour city, home of the Opera House, Bondi Beach, and a housing crisis that'd make your head spin faster than a hill's hoist in a cyclone. Look, Sydney's always been a bit pricey, that's no secret, but lately it's gotten downright ridiculous. Rent's gone bonkers, mate. We're talking astronomical figures that'd make even a banker blush. And forget about buying a house unless you've got a vault full of gold hidden under the Opera House. It's gotten so bad that even folks on decent salaries are struggling to keep a roof over their heads. And it's not just the rent, is it? Everything in Sydney seems to cost a small fortune. A cup of coffee, $10, a parking spot, sell a kidney. It's enough to make you want to pack up the ute and move to the outback. And for migrants who are just starting out, trying to find their feet in a new country, well, it's a bloody tough gig, let me tell you. The dream of settling down in Sydney, of making it their home, is becoming increasingly out of reach. So, while Sydney might still have its glitz and glamour for many migrants, the shine's starting to wear off. Next up, we're heading down south to Melbourne, the cultural capital of Australia. Now, Melbourne's got a lot going for it. Great coffee, a buzzing art scene, and more laneways than you can shake a stick at. But even Melbourne, with all its charms, is feeling the squeeze. The population's booming, and the city's infrastructure is struggling to keep up. Traffic. Forget about it, mate. You'll spend more time sitting in your car than you will actually living your life. And don't even get me started on trying to find a park. It's like playing a game of real-life Tetris, except the stakes are way higher, and you're probably going to lose. And just like Sydney, rent in Melbourne is sky high. Trying to find an affordable place to live is about as easy as finding a needle in a haystack. That's also on fire. So, while Melbourne might still be a top choice for many, the increasing crowds, the traffic nightmares, and the competitive rental market are making it harder for migrants to truly thrive. Alright, let's hop over to the west coast and check out Perth, the sun-drenched capital of Western Australia. Now, Perth's got a lot to offer. Beautiful beaches, a laid-back lifestyle, and more sunshine than you can poke a stick at. But Perth's biggest strength, its isolation, is also its biggest weakness. See, Perth's a long way from everything. And I mean everything. The East Coast, where most of the jobs are. Yeah, that's a good 4-hour flight away. And while Perth's economy has traditionally been driven by the mining boom, things have been a bit shaky lately. Jobs in the mining sector aren't as plentiful as they once were, and that's left some migrants high and dry. So if you're after job security, a bustling economy, and the chance to be closer to the action, Perth might not be the best bet right now. It's a beautiful city, no doubt, but it's not for the faint of heart, or those who haven't got a solid plan in place. Next stop, Newcastle. This New South Wales city has undergone a massive transformation, shaking off its industrial past to become a vibrant hub with beautiful beaches and a thriving arts scene. But for migrants, Newcastle presents a bit of a mixed bag. See, while the city's trying to diversify its economy, it's still heavily reliant on a few key industries: coal, manufacturing, and tourism. And if you're not in one of those fields, well, finding work can be a bit like finding a parking spot in Sydney, near impossible. And while the cost of living in Newcastle is lower than in Sydney or Melbourne, it's still creeping up there. Rents are rising, and housing affordability is becoming a real concern. So while Newcastle might be a great place to live if you're in the right industry, for migrants looking for diverse job opportunities, it might be time to look elsewhere. Next up, we're off to Geelong, a coastal city just a hop, skip, and a jump from Melbourne. Known for its footy team, its waterfront, and its friendly vibes, Geelong has long been seen as a more affordable alternative to Melbourne. But hold your horses, mate, because Geelong's affordability is starting to disappear faster than a meat pie at a footy game. See, as Melbourne's gotten more expensive, people have started moving to Geelong, driving up demand and pushing up prices. Rents have skyrocketed, and house prices are giving Sydney a run for its money. What was once a haven for those seeking a more affordable lifestyle is now becoming just as pricey as the Big Smoke. And while Geelong does have job opportunities, they're not as plentiful or diverse as in Melbourne. So if you're not careful, you might find yourself stuck in a situation where you're paying big city prices without the big city salaries. Ouch! Let's be honest, who hasn't dreamt of living in tropical paradise? Cairns, with its stunning Great Barrier Reef, lush rainforests, and laid-back vibe, seems like the ultimate escape. But for migrants, Cairns presents a unique set of challenges. See, Cairns' economy is heavily reliant on two things: tourism and seasonal work. And while those industries can be great for a while, they're not exactly known for their stability. During the tourist season, jobs are plentiful, but when the tourists go home, well, so do the jobs. And for migrants who are trying to build a life, that kind of uncertainty can be a real killer. Plus, while the cost of living in Cairns might be lower than in some of the bigger cities, it's still pretty steep. Rent can be pricey, especially during peak season, and finding stable, well-paying jobs can be a challenge. G'day from Townsville, a sunny city known for its relaxed atmosphere, its beautiful beaches, and, well, that's about it. Look, Townsville's a great place to visit, but for migrants it's got a few drawbacks that are harder to ignore than a croc in a swimming pool. For starters, Townsville's economy isn't exactly booming. Job opportunities are limited, especially if you're in a specialized field. And the ones that are available, well, they might not pay the bills, let alone fund your avocado toast habit. And while the cost of living in Townsville is lower than in some other cities, it's still more expensive than you might think. Plus, the city's infrastructure isn't quite keeping up with the times. We're talking about limited public transport, congested roads, and internet speeds that'd make a snail impatient. So, while Townsville might be a top spot for a holiday, for migrants looking for work, opportunities, and a decent internet connection, it might be time to look elsewhere. Chapter 8. Adelaide, a slow burn, or just plain slow. Adelaide, the city of churches, is known for its beautiful parks, its world-class wineries, and its more relaxed pace of life. But for migrants looking for a fast-paced, opportunity-filled city, Adelaide might feel a bit, well, slow. See, Adelaide's economy has traditionally been based on manufacturing and agriculture, and while those industries are still important, they're not exactly known for their rapid growth or high-paying jobs. And while Adelaide is trying to attract new industries like tech and startups, it's still got a bit of catching up to do compared to the likes of Sydney and Melbourne. So if you're after a city with a thriving tech scene, a buzzing startup culture, and job opportunities galore, Adelaide might not be the first place that springs to mind. Chapter 9. Hobart, scenic views, pricey rents, and a long way to swim home. Alright, let's hop over to Hobart, the charming capital of Tasmania. With its stunning scenery, its historic buildings, and its delicious seafood, Hobart has a lot to offer. But for migrants, Hobart presents a unique set of challenges. See, Hobart's beautiful, but it's also remote, like really remote. It's an island off an island, mate. And while that isolation might be part of its charm, it also means that job opportunities can be limited, and the cost of living can be surprisingly high. We're talking about expensive rent, pricey groceries, and transport costs that'll make you want to swim back to the mainland. So while Hobart might be a great place to visit, for migrants looking for affordable living, plentiful job opportunities, and a sense of community, it might not be the best bet. Chapter 10. Darwin, hot, humid, and hard to hack it. Last but not least, we're heading to Darwin, the top end's tropical capital. Known for its laid-back lifestyle, its multicultural community, and its proximity to Kakadu National Park, Darwin has a unique appeal. But for migrants, Darwin can be a tough nut to crack. See, Darwin's hot, like really hot. We're talking about the kind of heat that'll make you sweat standing still. And while you might get used to the heat eventually, the humidity, well, that's a whole other beast. It's the kind of humidity that'll make your clothes feel like they've been through the spin cycle about 1,000 times. And then there's the job market. While Darwin has opportunities in industries like mining and tourism, they're not as plentiful or as diverse as in some of the bigger cities. So while Darwin might be a great place to visit, for migrants looking for a comfortable climate, a diverse job market, and a city that doesn't feel like a sauna 24/7, it might be time to look elsewhere. Outro. So, where to from here? So there you have it, legends. The Australian dream might still be alive and well, but it's definitely changing. Choosing where to live is more important than ever. These cities might not be the best options anymore for migrants in 2024. But hey, this isn't meant to discourage anyone. It's about having a real yarn about the challenges and starting a conversation about how we can make Australia a welcoming and accessible place for everyone. What are your thoughts? Have you experienced similar things in these cities or elsewhere? Comment below with your thoughts and don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you in the next one.